thank you. We only have enough time to have one more complete round of questions before your summary, so I guess everybody's aware of that. I know everybody's having such a good time, and time is flying. It's all fine and dandy to say you're going to Washington to change the way things are done. But let's get real. There's a process to everything, and you're only one person. How would you cultivate relationships with fellow senators on both sides of the aisle?
You know, we understand that to get something done, you have to have a majority of the House and 51 senators to go along, or maybe in some cases 60 senators. But look, there's some things that are no room for compromise. And if I'm one person standing up and saying that the TARP vote was wrong, the bailout of the auto companies was wrong, the health care vote was wrong, if I'm one person saying that, I will stand and say that. And if I'm one person saying that we cannot increase the debt ceiling and that we should not vote for deficits, I will be one person to do that. And you know, if I'm one person, then I join with another person there, because not everybody voted for the bailouts. And then eventually, with these movements that are out there, with the conservatives that are moving and shaking out there among the people in Arkansas right now, the Tea Party folks, the folks at Republican committees, the regular folks that understand that these deficits and these bailouts were wrong, then we'll have enough folks to really make that difference.
Thank you. Mr. Rainey?
Well, I think you can, there's different ways to cultivate relationships. I mean, certainly, if you allow me to go up there and try to be friendly when you can and make friends. But look, you cannot compromise. Once you start compromising on things that are your core beliefs. Now, I'm not talking about on issues that are kind of iffy or gray area or something like that. I'm talking about on core beliefs. If you ever compromise on those things, they've got you. They've got you. And you can't ever go back at that point. I do believe that I can cultivate those relationships. We get along well with folks we know from both sides of the aisle. I was raised in a Democrat family. I can speak the language. I know how they talk. I know how they think. So, but I do know that I can talk to them. But I do have a clear set of beliefs that I will not compromise on. But I can do so civilly, and it doesn't have to get ugly. It just have to stand my ground.
I think you go to Washington, it's just a lot of hard work. I mean, you're talking about 12, 14-hour days, 6 days a week. It's very difficult. You're there, doing the job there, and then you come back and you work very, very hard to do your constituent service, to help people with the problems that they're having. And I know firsthand how difficult that is, and I'm prepared to do it. By working hard, I'm on 3 committees. Almost everyone is on 2 committees. I've got 8 subcommittees. Most people have 4 subcommittees. I'm the ranking member on 2 committees. So again, those are things that you just work really, really, really hard to do. It's a lot of hard work. As I said earlier, it's a real privilege though. And the reason that you do it, the reason that you work hard is the stakes are high. And then also, as I said earlier, I realize that this is a service job. I work for you. You don't work for me.
That's a real easy question for me. It's answered in one word. That's leadership. If you don't have leadership, you're not going to be able to bring anybody to your side. You know, the last thing that we need right now is another Olympia Snow. I mean, we don't need that. We need somebody that will stand on principle, somebody that will go up and fight for the people of Arkansas, but somebody that has leadership skills. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got 29 years of proven leadership skills. I'm not just saying it. You can go read my background, look what I've done in my life. And I think you will see that that's the kind of person we need to be our United States Senator in Washington, D.C.
All right, Congressman Boozman. What is your position in proposed actions to secure our borders as a United States Senator?
I think when you talk about securing the border, you need to do that for 3 reasons. First of all, you've got the illegal immigration that's going on, which is so important. The other thing is you've got a tremendous amount of drug traffic going on. When you go across the border, my mom grew up in Brownsville. The other side of the border is almost in anarchy because of the drug traffic, and the Mexican government's not winning it. So we need to secure it for the drug traffic. We need to secure it for illegal immigration. The other thing is we're a nation at war. And so we need to know who's coming across the border. And so I think you do that, you continue the fencing that's going on there now. I think you put a lot more resources down there with border guards and things like that. The other thing in regard to illegal immigration, you hold employers accountable, no amnesty, and we need to have English as the official language. That's the tie that binds us together.
Colonel? That's okay. Like he turned it off on me on purpose. Okay.
It's an old Democratic trick.
That's right. Well, anyway. Okay. We all know that, look, there are specialists that know how to secure the border. I was in Iraq. I was in Afghanistan. There are ways to secure the border. That's not the question right here. Yeah, we got to do that. The question right now is why hasn't it been done in the last 8 years? Who has put in a bill? Who has sponsored a bill to say, well, this is what we're going to do? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. There's no will, ladies and gentlemen, and that's the problem. The Republican Party did not have the will for 8 years to secure it. That's the reason we have a problem now. And we need to do that. We need to send people who understand the problem, but more importantly, I'm tired of the rhetoric. I want to see somebody within 18 months secure the border. I want to see a czar, a border czar. How about that? If we're going to have czars, let's have a border czar and somebody understands that we can hold accountable. Right now, there's not one person, I don't know one name other than the president, that we can hold personally accountable. And that's what I want. If that person doesn't do the job, we fire them. And we put somebody else in there. And I intend to do that. Thank you.
Senator Holt?
I have put in a bill at the state level. It was Senate Bill 206. It would actually help secure the borders. My grandmother, and I don't want to call anybody an aunt, but she put it to us this way. She said, son, if you want the ants out of the kitchen, you put away the food. Folks, we have jobs, we have benefits, we have things. I'm going to tell you the next thing's going to happen to this health care bill, okay? We're going to say, oh, we have to have amnesty now because they're getting free health care and they're not having to pay into the system. Do you realize that? That's going to be one of the next things on his agenda. Folks, I put in a Senate Bill 206. Secure Arkansas now has one. We can do it at the state level. We can do it at the state level, the federal level. Secure the border, number one. We have to do that because we have other aliens coming in from the terrorists coming up through the border. English as the primary language, absolutely. But folks, I've already done it at the state level. Back when it wasn't cool, I was called a racist. I was called David Duke. I was called everything under the sun. But I wished I had more time.
Senator Hendrick?
I agree. Everybody's going to say secure the borders here, but we don't say it in Washington at the Capitol or on the steps up there or anything. We need to enforce the law. That's right. We need citizens to fill the jobs that are here. We found where I come from, bro, when jobs aren't there, there's not that many folks there that used to be looking for them. Immigration procedures need to be made efficient. I'm an industrial engineer, and I believe a little bit of efficiency. And grab me the post office, they're going to stop our Saturday delivery now instead of trying to make that outfit more efficient. Of course, what do you expect from the government and so forth? Let me just say a word about that. We don't have to give them driver's licenses, which was proposed in the Arkansas House in 2001, and this member right here is the only member on this panel that stood up and voted against that on that when it was failed. And so illegals cannot really receive Arkansas driver's licenses, which was proposed by the governor at that time. It was wrong then, it's wrong now. We should not give driver's licenses to people who are not legally in the United States of America, and the Arkansas legislature stopped that deal.